Hello. I'll explain what I'm doing in just a second. Okay. So let me walk you through what's been happening over the weekend, my thinking, and what's next. Okay. So I've put the car now on, let's say, jack stands all over it, so that it's now sitting level. It's as straight as it will ever be. I have, of course, in the front, I have made extensive modifications. The firewall is now one stud further to the front. Uh, Much less material is used. Let me explain. A lot less material is used. Um, we need to make new A pillars. These are not good. Um, and what else? The springs. So the front torsion bars with the 8-tooth gears are not good. We are not gonna use that. So I was experimenting with these here 16 tooth gears because they fit um, with the worm gear. Uh, they mesh with half a stud offset. The solution I came up with here is not optimal. I'm not happy with it because it allows things to skip here. So we need to change that. We need to make another version of this probably today. And overall, what I'm trying to do here is I was trying to optimize stuff because it was obvious that we reached a point where we need to start optimizing things first for weight because the car is overweight. We have too much stuff here. The rear, even though doesn't look like much, it's too heavy, way too heavy. The front is also getting heavy. So we need to optimize for parts as much as possible. I have already started, but it's not finished. Um, so first, I would like to address the leaf springs, the torsion bar springs. Why did I do this? Because they were with much too soft. Uh, Partly, probably because of the 8-tooth gears, because things were flexing there, and because the torsion bars were too long. Uh, so now they are one stud shorter. Uh, we can even make them shorter if we decide to do so. So we can have less preload on them. But we need to solve the way we mount the gear because the gear is skipping, and we need to somehow engineer this part to be more sturdy. Um, the floor panels, well, too many floor panels. The floor panels aren't really heavy. It's not the floor panels. Yeah, they weigh less than lift arms, and the floor is really the structure of the car. So without the panels, this would be very weak. So the panels are doing their part because they are, as in a real car, they are providing basically a floor pan. The floor itself and the tunnel creates they create basically the structure here. Otherwise, this would be really floppy. So we need this. But the focus now is gonna be this, and the A pillar. A pillar isn't good. First, it was flexing too much. So when I picked up the car like this, everything here was flexing. I eliminated flexing as much as I can from the front section, which was flexing a lot before. Now it isn't. I mean, still is flexing, but a lot less than before. We have a new firewall, which is a lot sturdier than before, which is nice. But the position of the torsion bar adjuster mechanism is now again presenting us with torsion bar adjusters here. That's not optimal. And another problem that I discovered, you see the steering wheel. The steering wheel was not in the center of the seat. So because of the tunnel, we cannot move the seat further inward. So we need to move the steering wheel position one stud further outward. That's taken care of if we can design a mount for it here. But for that, if we keep the current position of the adjusters for the suspension, we need to redesign this because this here is in the way, and we need to redesign this anyway because it's not good. So I basically created more problems than I solved when I started digging over the weekend, but I couldn't be happy if I didn't. These problems need to be solved in order for me to be happy with the model. So if you thought we are done, no, we're not done. We are not done. So now I will continue with where I left on Sunday. And I will again I will recreate what I have here in the car for the torsion bar mount. This. And this guy. And we are going to optimize it. Because, if this side isn't that bad, but it skips. Not this side, but the driver side skips here. I mean, it's not really good. It's kind of sturdy, but this guy is still allowed to move. And he shouldn't move, and everything here is flexing too much. I don't think we can make the adjusters horizontal as we had before. So we must have them here. Having said that, I think that we should also make them adjustable. If we go with this, we have to make them adjustable with a single knob, as was the plan. If you remember back when we started this, as was the plan initially. So we have just one knob to adjust the whole front suspension. So not each side individually, but both of them at the same time, which is fine with me. It's less complicated. And basically we want to have them on preload anyway. So this is the situation, and let's now dig into the into recreating this, so we can improve it and maybe find a solution to, I don't know, to make it less sucky. So in case you're wondering what the noise in the background is, the cat is playing again, wanting attention, I guess. I was, of course, I was playing with the idea of having this kind of mount, but I abandoned it because there's no room in our particular setup. I will recreate the driver's side as far as I can see it here, because even though I made it, I of course have to constantly remind myself how it's done. What did I use? I did use this, and I used, oh my god, it's so complicated, so much stuff. I mean, this needs to be made simpler. So basically I went around it. So we have this guy, and then I have this with this and this. What now? No. Oh god, I really did this. Okay. Now I made this and this and this. You will see why I'm not happy with it. And here I did yeah, I did this. Yeah, like this. Now we go in here, this guy, and we come up with this, like this, and it's being held, yeah, and on this side is being basically held in by the lift arm. What? Yeah, there's a lift arm coming up here, where 3-stud lift arm. I mean, this needs to be 3 studs. God, yeah. That's, I mean, I didn't like it before, but now that I'm looking at it again, how the fuck did I even... So the lift arm... Who designed this? Oh, right. I did. Yeah. Wasn't my best design. Wasn't my best design. Hey. So. And then one tiny little detail. I knew I forgot. There. Okay. Okay. And yeah, of course. And on this side, almost forgot, because over engineering. And on this side, very important. One thing I dislike the most is this. So let me walk you through. Okay, so this is what I have in the car. First problem, of course, obvious. This thing is clashing with the whirling gear. Can be solved, but let's rather re-engineer this. Second, everything here has a tendency to pull apart because it's not really connected. And the main issue is the thing that they need half a stud and half a stud offset to mesh. Now we need to figure out how to combine them together with the half stud mesh so that they somehow don't get pulled apart. We have like three studs. It can be 3 studs wide. We have the room for that, but it needs to be, I don't know. Well, I guess it has to end here, because here, of course, it's our gearbox. And yeah, we need to basically bind this side together. Let me just check something. Yeah, that's how we need to do it. So I don't know. And of course, we need to utilize as much as this frame as much as possible for structural reinforcement. We can go up until here, because here and if we go here, we already have our friend, the other frame, which is connecting. Come on. Which is connecting everything else together. So yeah, that's the full picture. Let me just disclose the full picture there. So that's what we have. So Victor, a 5 times 11 panel. Oh, you calculated it. 2 to replace. Yeah. I mean, yeah, weight saving. We can save some weight here and there. Less lift arms. Panels. I don't know. I already found a place where we need to use 2 additional frames. maybe get rid of some lift arms there because of the frames. But yeah, you'll see. That's not important right now. The most important part right now is this. Because obviously I don't want this. I don't want this to skip. And yeah, this has a tendency to skip. It's not really what I call good engineering. The way we had it with the small gears was perfect. It was really perfect, but unfortunately we cannot use this here. As much as it hurts me, I would love to use the system that we had here. It was so simple. If it wasn't for those pesky gears that just deform under load. So this was our simple system. And now we need to recreate this system somehow with this. But the problem is that because of this gear is larger, see, it's so much larger that we need to make some, we need to use some different approaches to make it work. And if it wasn't for the half stud offset that we have to have here, things would be so much easier. By the way, a question. Is there another worm gear? I think I found a picture of a worm gear that is larger in diameter, that would possibly mesh with this, either this or this, in a way that doesn't require the half stud offset. Is it possible? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are going to know. Meanwhile, I'm doing some thinking. How did we get here? No way. Even the colors of the Technic have different weight. How? What the? Okay. Well, if Kristen, if you say that there's one that 1 stud long, dark gray, and it only connects with a 12 tooth, that's exactly what I want. If it connects with this, that would be perfect. So this means that if it connects with this guy, it connects with a 28 tooth, because all of these are pretty much the same scale, if you want to say so. These are the same scale, and then the 24, the 16, and the 8 are the same scale, kind of. I mean, you know what I mean. So they are perfect for this gear, and these would be perfect for the larger 1 stud gear, I guess. So I need to make some purchasing on Bricklink, I guess, before we can address this. I see. I see. Okay. Okay, let me just bookmark this. Bricklink part. Hold on. Bricklink part. 27938. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So that's probably gonna be the worm gear that we are gonna use. I'm gonna buy some, and then we'll see. So let's then skip this for today. Um, I'll buy it late after the stream, and then let's move on to the next problem. Let's move to the next problem. The A pillar. A pillar sucks. There are several reasons. First, the angle's not right. Uh, this angle, so the angle from the front, is okay, but the angle from the side is not okay. So this theoretically is 45 degrees. I checked with the blueprints, and the blueprints, let me just pull it up in the drawing, say it's not correct. So the number 4 is 45 degrees. And if I hold it up against the screen, so in a way that I can see that it's like vertical with the lines that are on the grid, the actual angle is flatter. So it's not 45 degrees, but let's say it's 40 degrees. So it curves a little bit more inwards. I mean curves, slopes. It's angled a little bit more. Let's check with our car. Yep. As it is now, the angle of this is good. The angle of this is good. Let me take this out. And so I made this connector here. Yep. And this is true to the angle. But as it turns out, of course, everything here, the whole structure here, is not gonna work. There's several reasons. First, even the way we had it before was a bit wobbly, especially in front to back. Yeah. Not to my standards, since I like this part to be as rigid as possible. So we need to keep the pillar as slim as possible, but we also need to clear the door. If I mount the door again, see, this is the problem here, because the pillar, of course, goes past the door. It has to, because in the real car the door has like cutout here. We cannot have that. I was thinking about it, but even though if we had a cutout, see, that's not gonna happen, because this is constantly going to go under the pillar. So we need to somehow keep this design. Let's call it a design. But we probably should think about using, I don't know, an alternate approach to all this. Maybe use this kind of lift arm, though it's a bit short. There's a longer version. Let me find it. Oh, come on. I know you're here. Oh, come on. Oh, here you are. So let's see. Yep. So it trades a little bit of length here for length here. So we could use this and come up with something that connects to this. Even a 20-tooth gear would be okay, I guess, but it needs to, I don't know if a 20-tooth gear clears one stud. Oh, it even does. Yeah, it does. It clears one stud. Yes. So even a 20-tooth gear would go. So with a 20, David, so with a 20-tooth gear, it clears, it's a one stud, basically a 3-stud job. So basically, the holes for the axles need to be 3 studs apart. You know what I mean? Basically, here's the axle of the gear, and then here would be the plane of the worm gear. Is that right? If this is right, then we're gonna use the 20-tooth gear and be done with it, and that'll be fine. This is gonna work. We can work with that. Yeah. Okay. Next time. But the A pillar. Second problem next to the wobbliness is that it kinda interferes with the steering on the other side, not on this side, but on the other side. But since we're doing things symmetrical, you know, it's too far inside of the car, and then it basically clashes with the steering rack, which is a bummer because that limits our steering rack very much, and I don't like that. So we need to come up with something that works. What do you mean the 11 times 5 frame? What would you do with it, Victor? So let's see. Let's transfer this. Let's see what we can do. And I would like to use as few axles as possible as well. I want to use pins or normal axles. I mean bars, pins or normal axles. What do you mean the 11 times 5 frames get chewed up? What do you mean? They get chewed up? By who? By a dog? Or do you mean the worm gears that they get chewed up? So what could we do here? Because what's the height? So this is the height, and here we are a little bit above it. Okay, we can allow ourselves something here. Not sure what, but I'm gonna experiment a little bit. Yeah, I did. That's why I'm not considering the 8-tooth gear. The 8-tooth gears are crap. They are so weak that I'm not gonna use them. That's the reason why I'm actually redesigning the mounting for the torsion bars, because the 8-tooth gears are garbage, if I can say so. Hmm. I wonder, what if we use this guy here? Uh, I'm just gonna fix the roof here, just so that I have a height reference, so that nothing funny happens here. See, I have made sure that the height of the roof remains with this guy, so that whatever I do here, I don't mess up. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of free thinking. Okay. Maybe this is something, maybe not. I'm just gonna try it out. Yeah. Now that we go, this would be perfectly straight if this was perfectly straight. But since we're going out, it's not. Hmm. This, of course, we already seen that it's not okay. of course. So optimizations, Michael. Optimizations happened. That's what happened. We are in a state of flux. Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. We just are trying to make things better. Um, I'm thinking. I mean, really thinking trying to think out of the box here. What to do with the A pillar. As with everything here in the car, there must be a way to do this. So far, we have succeeded in everything, and we are gonna succeed with this motherfucker. Hmm. Ah, this mount is really garbage. Hmm. So approximately like this, yeah. Window wings? What do you mean with window wings? Helion, do say. If you have an idea, please let me know. I am at a loss at the moment. Could be that I am going to have a revelation of sorts. Mm. Mm. I mean, I'm gonna try something. Maybe it's a short shot in the dark. Maybe it's gonna be something. I just want to check some geometry. Oh no. I think that's not. No. That's not gonna do it. I want to see pictures. If you really have made the two inline threes into one big block, I want pictures. Definitely. Um, I guess the 32 tooth gears are driving those rings, right? What's happening here? Why is this? Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Of course it's not good. Why would it be? So if we follow this logic, we follow this wait a second. Do we can we mount this here? No. Oh, we can't. Oh, but wait, there is a part that fits here. There is a part that fits in here. Yeah, you can show me tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Just I want to see it. I want to see it. So we do have a part that fits in here legally. Okay. This part fits in here. And if this guy fits in here, yeah, they would be mirrored, of course. Absolutely. That would be the way to go. Otherwise, it would look and aesthetically unpleasing, and you want kind of the tubing on the outside, on both sides, and of course both engines need to turn in the same way. But that's not really a problem. So, okay, I'm just gonna use this. Ah, that's I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. No. Let's use these. Mm, mm, we'll see. So my plan would be basically to have one connection here, one connection here. If this is possible, we shall see. If this is at all possible, so this connection isn't gonna work because it's half a stud. Of course, it's half a stud. Why wouldn't it be half a stud? Yeah, I guess I need to move things a little bit to the front. Um, so basically, come on. Okay. So basically, I wanted to mount this part here, but it's not gonna happen because it's half a stud offset. 13 stats clearance between the frame support and the leaf springs. Yeah. I mean, I need pictures. Without pictures, I cannot comment. God damn it. How are we going to mount this? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If we win 1, 2, 3. And we want ones. No, we want basically. Okay. That could work, I guess. That could work. That could work. But we need to find a way to continue this. And to combine this. You know what I mean? I mean, the panel is pretty. The A pillar is thin. It has to be thin, and I don't have the room here for too much complexity. But I would like this. I would like it to bend like here, and then I can mount this. I don't want a quad cam V8. This is a single cam push rod V8 that we have here in the car. We don't have room for quad cam anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. 7, you say? This is a fiber. Let me see. Front to back. Front to back, 15. Exactly. Not a stud more. 15 is the max. Even then, I would say 13 would be more realistic. 13 studs. I wouldn't make the engine longer than 13 studs. Okay. So, how can we make you? I mean, oh god, this is gonna be a mess. I'd like this to be as simple as possible, but I guess it's not gonna happen. My god. The original is so simple and I am complicating my ass out of this. But I guess there's no other way, because the door is so large and we cannot go as in the rear car. No, I would go just 13 studs, no more, for the whole engine. Otherwise, it's gonna be too tight. See, uh, this is 15 studs. Okay, we need clearance here in front for the gears. So, and this is already the firewall. And the problem with the firewall is that the gearbox is one stud further out here. So 13 studs is realistically what we can have here. You see, this is already looking pretty big in the engine bay. Well, the problem with the original design is for the A pillar that it's too far out here. It's the original design would hit the yeah, that's the problem, and I have no way of locating this. For example, if we revert to the original design in idea only, what happens? So I close the door. Let's remove this shit. I close the door. Let's say the original design is just a second. Let's humor the idea. The original design longer. This needs to be longer. I don't have any more. Oh, come on. Really? Fine, I'll take these ones. Then I'll have them in gray. Doesn't matter. Okay. So the original design a 68. It's a 68 charger. So the original design would have A pillars like this. And if we are generous, we could do this. See, the problem is that now the A pillar cannot mount. Absolutely not, because there is the door. A pillar is way too high. It looks pretty shit. That's the reason why I wanted to move everything inside. I mean, inside, closer to the inside. But now that we are at this stage, I, I have gotten an idea what we could do. Not a very elegant solution, but it's an idea. We could use our good friends here, these guys. Place them here. And basically, extend everything. And have it here now. What curve? Why a curve? There's no curve in the charger. The charger A pillar is as straight as possible. Yeah, but I don't like this because it's too thick. The A pillar gets too thick. If I do this, much too thick. And my initial idea was that I would do something like this, for example. So now you can see anything. So I would go like this. But even this is too thick because you can clearly see it from the front. Ideally, it would turn in directly from here, which is something I have not considered yet. Why have I not considered this? Oh my god, this is so simple. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Why I have not considered this. Okay. Hear me out. Okay. So, what if we do this? Yeah, I don't like big bumps. I don't like them. I just had them because I was experimenting. Just a second. One, two. Okay, yeah. That's the problem. So this guy needs to be shorter. Needs to be like this. then we don't have the length. Well, we don't have the length. We do kind of have the length. Yeah, we can do it like this. Just for the moment, just for checking what's happening. Later, maybe we can come up with something better. Okay. Okay. So now we're down to this. This is acceptable. And now we can build something to this. I hope we can. Now let's see. Maybe I would even... Can I? No, I can. No, I cannot. Cannot. This was... if this was a bit longer, but I cannot make it longer like this. Well, I'm just checking from this angle if it's invisible enough, if it's okay. Let's say doesn't have to be perfect, just okay. Okay, so this is okay. And now that we remove the door once again, now we need to mount it because there's like nothing here. Nothing here. Need to mount this somehow. That's the difficult part. How to mount this shit. Let's see. Okay, so the angle here is okay. Maybe a little bit forced. Just a tiny bit forced. So let's... Oh, shit. Okay. So let me adjust the angle here. Okay. Okay, the angle is not perfect. The planes of the A-pillar and our mount align perfectly. Now we just need to figure out a way how to connect this shit. Where is the connection here? Is it possible to mount this with one stud? Yes, a little bit of cheating. Just a tiny bit of cheating, maybe. And if this is under a little bit of tension, who cares? Yeah, could be possible. Could be entirely possible. So if I remove this and I mount this like that, and then I need to find a mounting point for this in order for us to not go left and right too much. Would this be possible? I wonder. Would this even be possible? Yeah, a little tension needs to be there. Little tension needs to be there, otherwise we cannot do a good connection. I'm just playing here. Nothing serious. I want to find a connection somehow. Okay, this is all right. Is it? Yeah, that's it. That is perfectly all right. This is not going anywhere, but we need to make sure that this guy doesn't go anywhere. So this was one stud longer, then we have a perfect connection here. And all of this is hidden under the dashboard, so that's gonna be invisible, which is good, which is very good. So read 1, 2. Okay, we need to get rid of this. That's not gonna be the way. What if we go one stud further out here? Would this be a crime? Would this be a crime? No, it wouldn't. This would be perfectly alright. We need to move this guy a little bit like that. And then here, perfect. That's gonna be perfect. Perfect. Oh my god. It's gonna be better than before. Where is... here? My god. I'm just gonna build it and then I'm gonna show you. So we have this, so we need this guy here. That goes through this guy here, and we need this here. Then we can have this and this. Wait. here, here. It never has the right part out. Ah, of course. Okay. This looks okay. Just let me check something. Yeah, not as good as this. Let's put the door on. It is sturdy. It is very sturdy. Let's see where we are with the door. Yes, this is good. This is good. Bummer. Okay. Come on. Please be one here. No? Okay. So obviously I need to redesign this part here. this is gonna get a redesign as well. Okay, just check this. Yeah, we can get away with this. We can get away with this because the everything regarding the window, so the bottom window frame is gonna be here, and it's gonna cover up this part. This part is basically gonna be invisible. So that's good. That's good. It's okay. Better than we had before. And this is much sturdier now. Okay, I can live with that. Can live with that. Thing is that I fear it's still gonna impact our steering. For this, we need to change it yet again. How? So we could, this part, if this part was more on top, what if we cheat a little bit? And do this. What is the penalty for our misbehavior? Is there a penalty? No, there's no penalty. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a little bit forced then. This is a little bit forced. But I guess once we connect both sides, it's gonna be alright. Yeah, we should be okay with that. Because it's always good that both sides are a little bit pressing a little bit inward, you know, that way the roof is going to be much more stable if we allow it to do that. Yeah, and we can basically omit this part entirely, can make this longer, and then we can basically make a connection. So we need a lift arm connection between these parts anyway, you know, so that they are bound together. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Now we need to make sure it doesn't do this. So we need, oh, this is, oh my god, oh, this is a little better than before, considering we have only one and it's not even properly attached. Okay, so let's see. Huh. What are the odds? What are the odds that this guy is? The odds are very, very, very good. Very, very, very good. Indeed. I'll show you in a second. All right. Ha ha ha. Yes, yes, yes. This is not much better. Of course, it doesn't help that the other side is jelly. But this is much better than it was. And we don't even have the C-pillar, which also provides a lot of support. I don't know if you can see it, but of course things are still saying things are still a little jelly. But this is partly because now this is pulling to one side. We need to combine both sides together, and then it's gonna be much less. And of course here I probably need to not, don't even have to do anything much. It's gonna be right, but we are at odds here, so it's 1 2 3 4.5 stats. 4.5 stats. Well, we don't have 4.5 stats. We have just 4 stats. 4 stats should be plenty. Okay, and this we can do the very same thing. We push in a 4 stat and it'll be fine. But for now, I want to remove this entirely because I want to get rid of this. I want to install these two. Come on. Okay. So now we need to repeat this process on the other side and see where we're at. If this has a future or not will be determined if both A pillars play together. If they don't, we scrap it. If they do, which I very much hope they do, then it's gonna be fine. We can basically build this entire thing out of the car and then just swap it in. So 1, okay, then we need these two. Few of these. Few of these. Oh, it's like a good recipe. Okay. Okay. There. Oh, I need another one. Yeah, of course. Another one. going in. Oh, for fuck's sake. Like this. And I forgot. Of course, I forgot this. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, come on. There. There is our hero. Now we need just the other side. There we go. There we go. There we go. I think that's... Is it? No, it's some... I did something wrong. Oh yeah, just this. It's like that. Okay, now let's mount this. Now let's mount. Hey, Lord DiCapo. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, this is... No. Something's wrong. Okay. This connection wasn't good. It was straining everything too much. This is now okay. So we need to find another way for this connection here. Maybe a force dot connection here. Let's see. Let's see. I'll use the axles connectors, just so I can easily slide it in and out and see if this has any merit. And now I'm straining it in on the other side. I mean, this has to be under some tension, but not excessive tension. Basically, we still need to connect this to this somehow. God damn it. Stop doing that. Yes, of course, you want to be there, but you can't. He wants to be here. He wants to be here. Of course, he wants to be here. Yeah, he wants to sit like this. But that's not good at all. This is basically completely useless. Man. Ah, of course. I'm not allowed to do that. This is not allowed. Verboten. Hmm. I would love to do it like this. But this would need to be somehow more sturdy / fixed. But it can't be because it's under an angle. And still it wants to go left and right. Hmm. Okay, this can't go left and right. But is it feasible? This again, we need to make it on the other side as well. Otherwise we cannot judge. with this setup, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. Yeah, it's being pulled together again. So no, not like this. So I think at this point we are going to bind these two together, just so we can eliminate them pulling each other. Just with a quick and dirty setup like this, for example. Right now this is not important. What is important is just that we don't fool ourselves, or we don't get fooled into a false set of hope, only to discover that that's not gonna happen. And now they also move in unison. See, now we can experiment. Now we have a better chance. Let's see what happens if we do this. Let's see how much they pull. It's not that bad, to be honest. Just, you see, only slightly. They pull only slightly. Oh my god. I mean, this is gonna be, yeah, this is after the C pillar is connected. Yeah, this is gonna be alright. See, in the setup that we have here, without a C pillar connected, so the C pillar is gonna connect these two parts, and preventing the roof from going up. Because right now, when I lift the front end of the car, see, I lift the roof as well. And there's really nothing I can do beside this being completely rigid, which it cannot be. So we cannot make this completely rigid. Even if this part would be completely rigid, we would still get some movement. But you know, only so much we can do. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. It's better than before. Let's see what happens with the door. It's a lot cleaner than before, a lot less messy. there's potential. Yeah, perfect. Door cuts perfect. I think this is great. Yep. There's potential to move our triangle window to the front or make it slightly better. We'll see. We have to do something with this, simply because, you know, there's the ugly gap which we need to fill. So basically we move the triangle window one stud further to the front. Just like, I mean, we moved the entire firewall and the A pillar one stud to the front, so might as well. But not today. Today I want to see what the situation with the steering wheel is. If our steering wheel is gonna fit. So for this, in order for you to see stuff, I'm gonna remove the entire roof because we don't need it right now. The roof is completely useless at the moment, just in the way. Come on. The door can go. Don't need it right now. You come out. Okay. There we go. Roof is off. Our convertible is here. And of course, you know why I don't like convertibles. You know what happens with convertibles. That's why I hate convertibles. It's even more visible here than in a real car, but you know what I mean. So, our steering wheel needs to slot in here. Do we have room? Surprisingly, the answer could almost be yes. Almost. If it wasn't for this pesky little bugger. What can we do? Is there anything we can do? I wonder. And basically, if you can see it, this here is basically too low. And we are getting stuck here with our steering wheel. What we could do is put the steering wheel further outward, like here. But I have somehow a feeling that I mean, we cannot move it infinitely further into the cockpit. This would look unrealistic, even here, as it was before. Apparently, approximately this position, higher of course, was a little bit, I don't know, I would move it further into the firewall. There's very little room here to do anything right now. My god. And with this with this guy here, so with the adjuster for the springs, it's even tighter. It's gonna be half a stud further to the steering wheel once we get the new worm gear. So that's not looking good. Not looking too good. There is one way that we could do this. If we would somehow manage to swap the positions from, so basically we would swap the position of the spring adjuster and the firewall piece, so that the firewall piece would be on the inside and the spring adjuster would be on the outside of the firewall in the engine bay. That would be a possibility. Then if we do this, then the steering rack can basically have a much shallower angle going on the outside, basically going on the outside of the, or on the inside, whatever you want to call it, of the spring adjuster. And the spring adjuster would be in the engine bay. Yeah, that's a possibility. But in any case, this is gonna be in the way. So basically this part here. This part here is too low. How much of this part is too low? Okay. So if we make it 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, we can make it a little bit shorter. So by one stud we can omit this. This can be omitted. This guy, yeah, should be shorter as well. It's doable. But then we need to redesign this in its entirety. We need to keep, of course, the part that goes to the inside of the car for the hand of God steering. The rest we need to redesign. Okay, so let's make some room here. this guy is gonna be replaced by this. We're gonna replace this. Oh no, we can't here. Of course we cannot here. We cannot replace it. Ah, yeah. Not like that. Anyway. How can we replace it? Yeah, the other way. I guess like this. Can we go the other way? Maybe we can go the other way. Okay. Now we have 1, 2, okay, that's shorter. That's shorter. And here we can have what? This guy, this guy. Like that. And we can go with this. Okay. Well, let's see. Do we still have the problem? Okay, there's a lot more room. Yeah. Now this is doable. Yeah, we still need to redesign this. This needs to go. Doesn't really have to be here because we have enough room here. If we move this, yeah, it should be doable. So what we need to do now, basically, is that when we redesign this, we are going to move this piece of firewall exactly where this axle is, and this axle is going to move on the other side. So basically the whole spring is going to be 2 studs shorter, which is good because this means it's going to be shorter and we will not have to apply a lot of preload for it to be springy. I mean, for it to be stiff. The shorter the spring, the less preload we need to apply for it to still remain stiff in the front. Because right now, the way we had it with the 8-tooth gears, it was just the preload was at max and it was still the car was just sagging in the front. It was not good. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do when we get the the new whirling gears. Okay. So in the meantime, before we get to whirling gears in the next episode, we are going to tackle the rear of the car, because the rear of the car, just like the front of the car, needs basically decluttering. It's actually pretty heavy. This is pretty heavy. You can see how much it flexes. Everything flexes right now. It's just horrible. The problem with having a lot of preload is that you suddenly lose the ability to adjust the height of the car, because you basically you just preload everything, and having a lot of preload, I don't know. I'm on the fence if this is a good thing or not. But the shorter the springs, the less preload we need, the better, the less forces we put into the system. That's also something to consider. So in the real car, the springs are pretty long, but in our car, they're gonna be shorter because Lego is bendier than steel. You know, you have to take this into consideration. But these are things that you discover after you have the car that built to a certain degree, and then you experience the effects of weight on the springs, and then you have to adjust stuff. That's how it is. This will, when we do this is also going to allow us to make a little bit more order here in the floor pan, so that we can finally align these panels with each other, so they're no longer offset. Yeah, we can finally align these so they're no longer offset. This is also going to please my OCD a little bit. So we have two of these, and they're both aligned, no longer offset. So the firewall is going to be closer. This guy is going to connect to this guy, and yeah, then we get slightly more room in the engine bay, not by much, but slightly, because then the springs, so the adjusters, will sit in here. And I will probably have what we can have then is, we can, once the adjusters are set up, we can then put these parts, of course, on top of them, so that we combine them with one axle, and then we can have one axle controlling both, and then we can adjust the stiffness of the springs with one axle. And I would have the spring adjuster, the way I see it here, and the way room availability is going to be a problem. So we have the flex tube mechanism for the headlight blinds here in the passenger fender, and we would have the gear that would adjust the height of the springs. We could have it here somewhere, so it can be adjusted either when opening the hood or from inside the fender, that you kind of adjust it here. Could be a slightly larger gear like this, for example, that you are able to turn and adjust the stiffness, something like that. Something that's there, when you build it, that's there, but it's hidden. And it's an interesting mechanism, adds a little bit more specialty to the car. Yeah, that's how I would proceed. And we'll see how it gets from there. That's my take on it for now. Yeah, we opened a can of worms, of course. I know. Um, this is pretty interesting stuff, and of course, uh, here inside here there will be a frame, and we are going to omit a few of these things because the frame essentially is going to make everything here sturdier. Um, what else? Well, here in the rear, there's potential to have a little less complexity, especially here in the cheeks, and we also need to make sure that this is properly fastened. There's way too much material in here. Um, so yeah, the less complex it is, the better. Both from the standpoint of weight and the looks of it. Uh, Looks are not to be underestimated because I really love how things look, and I already see potential of making everything cleaner. That's gonna be great. But of course, a lot of work still ahead of us. Um, yeah. No, I mean, now that I have disassembled it, it doesn't take a lot for it to look like a real car, and not a lot for it to, when once you disassemble everything, to look like nothing. You know. So yeah, there's a lot of potential improvements here, especially this. See, this moves a whole lot because this thing here allows it to move. This when you observe it from far, you see, hard to catch on camera, but trust me that this entire thing moves like this to the front. I don't know how visible it is. And the frame is going to completely eliminate this movement. So it's gonna be a lot sturdier. It's gonna and we're gonna omit parts here as well. So yeah, and of course don't forget we raised the suspension in the rear, uh, which means that a lot of stuff that we had in there before, in order to allow the wheels to turn when the suspension was fully compressed, we can omit this because it's no longer necessary. We can also change stuff here now, because once we mount the axle, we will see that there's suddenly a lot more room over the axle that is unnecessary. So we can lower the entire chassis in the rear. This is also going to be interesting. So we're going to get a bigger trunk and less material used. And everything is going to be, at the same time, everything is going to be sturdier. This is not to be underestimated. So yeah, in the next episode, we're gonna tackle the rear. On Friday, we'll see what we're gonna do on Friday. But on Wednesday, we're gonna disassemble the rear, start working on that. Maybe Friday as well, and hopefully by Monday, we get the worm gears, so we can continue on the front. Of course, over the weekend, I'll see what if I'm gonna do anything to the car, because there's just so much, and I don't want to do everything because it's gonna be just one big mess. I want to do one part. Once that is done, then do the other part. So yeah, that's the plan. And once we optimize that, then we can move on. I guess over the weekend I'm going to tackle the seat because I'm really not happy with the seat. The seat, especially the mechanism for adjusting the back of the seat. That's completely garbage. I don't like it at all. And that's what I need to address. And of course, the position of the seat in the car. So now that I don't have the roof, I can do that. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh my god, so much work. I really hope the result in the end is gonna be worth it. So that it's gonna be a car that's gonna work at least to half of my expectation. Then it's gonna be fine. Yeah, with these words, that's it for today. I was hoping that we would have found a solution for the springs. Well, we did, but we don't. I don't have the the parts to continue with this. So A pillars sorted. That's good. I'm happy. I was kind of worried on Sunday that this is not gonna end well. Even today, I was worried about them, but this will still change them a little bit. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Still potential for saving a little bit of material and gaining a little bit of space. But that's not for today. Yeah. Okay, so I'll see you on Wednesday. Usual time. Um, if you have any suggestions, please contact me. I am very happy to listen to them, and often they give me ideas, even though I won't maybe end up using them. Every single suggestion, every picture you send gives me ideas. Um, well, check my Patreon. Maybe become my patron. Lego is expensive, especially our next project. If it's gonna be the Bugatti Veyron supercar, it's not cheap. Um, so check that. Check my social media. Like and subscribe. All that shit. And I see you on Wednesday.